Hey there, church. Pastor Michael here. It is day 9 for our 30-day challenge. So we are almost a third of the way through. So congratulations to those of you who've made it this far. If you're just tuning in now, still time to join in and catch up. Just download the YouVersion app if you don't have it already. Create an account. Find me and send me a friend request there. I am MB Willis 85, and once I accept your friend request, then you can see the studies that I'm doing, and you can select the Sermon on the Mount study and catch up, and we'll be on doing this together. All these videos have been a lot of fun so far. I am enjoying doing this. I hope you're enjoying watching them. I hope you're getting something out of them. I hope you're getting something out of the daily study. Today is our Veterans Day service is going to be happening today, or has already happened, depending on when you watch this. And so it's kind of fitting that we're talking about blessed are the peacemakers today, because that's really what the veterans of this country are. We are the peacemakers. That's what we strive to do, is keep the peace and keep our country safe and strong. So with that said, I also have a story here, not about the military, but it's about a group of ladies who wanted to end a war. And this goes back to the early 1990s. So way back when, in the 1990s, whole last century. But a section of East LA known as Boyle Heights was just going nuts with gang violence. There were 8 gangs that were in conflict in the parish around Dolores Mission Catholic Church. There were killings and injuries that happened daily. And there was a group of women who met for prayer, read together the story of Jesus walking on the water. Then one of the mothers there, electrified by the text of that story, began to identify the parallels between the Jesus story and her own. And that night, 70 women began a procession from one barrio to the other, and they brought food, guitars, and most importantly, they brought the love of Jesus. As they ate chips and salsa and drank cokes with gang members, they began to sing traditional songs together. I'm quite sure that the gangs were very disoriented and baffled by what was happening. And those war zones that had been going crazy nightly were suddenly silent. Each night the mothers walked, and as time went on, things got quieter and quieter. And through their non-violent intrusion and intervening, they broke the rules of war. The old script of retaliation and escalation of violence was challenged and changed. It was no accident the women christened their nighttime journeys love walks. As the relationships between the women and the gang members grew, the kids started to open up and tell their own stories. And they're very common stories for most of the people who live in poverty and resort to gangs and violence. It's a story of lack of opportunities, lack of jobs, hopelessness of poverty, anger at perceived or real police brutality. And through all this bonding and growing together, they did something that was really quite remarkable. They saw the needs that these gang members, these kids, some as young as 12, 13 years old, they had. Lack of father figures, lack of parental guidance in a lot of their cases, because parents were on drugs or missing. or are in the gangs with them. So it was just a terrible situation. So these women brought the love of Jesus, they brought hope, and together with these gang members, they developed jobs. They created a tortilla factory, a bakery, a child care center, a job training program, a class on conflict resolution techniques, a school for further education. A lot of these kids were just high school dropouts, so getting their GEDs and things like that. And they also created a neighborhood group that would monitor and report any police misbehavior and much more. And all of it began with just that one challenge that Jesus gave to Simon Peter when he was walking on the water. And that was, just come on, get out of the boat and walk with me. So that's what we need to do. We need to get out of the water. We need to get out of the boat and walk with Jesus. Walk to him. Keep our eyes on him. Because what happens when we take our eyes off of him and we start looking down at the storm around us? We start to sink. Keep our eyes on Jesus. We won't sink. He will keep us afloat. And that's what we need to do. And that's what we need to take from this passage, is take that strength that those 70 ladies showed, and doing something that no amount of tax money or police intervention or anything else could have done. The only thing that could have stopped that and stopped the cycle of that is love. So, if we want to stop the cycle of anything bad happening in this country or anywhere else in the world, whether it's poverty, out of wedlock births, single parenthood, things like that, then we need to approach it with love, not anger and not hatred. So let's do that, and let's start doing that right now, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.